success of any society or community depends on the leader. So what qualities does a leader should have? The concepts of leadership can be derived from two case studies, which include the moralist versus amoralist theory. In the amoralist view, deception and corruption within one's government or corporation is acceptable because amoralists believe that government and business have separate rules and standards to abide by. Therefore, personal values and norms do not matter. Amoralists feel that the appropriateness and inappropriateness of the process in achieving that goal should not matter. What matters is that the overall goal is attained. The end justifies the means. The moralist view opposes the view of the amoralist because they feel that the government and business are not so set up from everyday life that values and norms cannot be applied to each one. Moralists would say that leaders are individuals as well, and therefore are bound to the same moral and ethical implications as to the rest of the people living within a given community. Authority does not mean power because power comes from the governed. During the time when feudalism degenerated in China, he deplored the contemporary disorder and lack of moral standards. If you govern your people well and treat your people kindly, your kingdom shall not lose at any war. But if you govern your people selfishly, your kingdom will not lose in any war. But your people will also break away from your kingdom. Please all welcome Confucius to explain his side about our topic today.
Good morning to all. Well, for me, you can never be an effective leader without being morally upright. This is because to have a good government, there must be a good leader, so that the people will have a good example to serve as an inspiration to do good also. If authorities love good conduct, the people will be easy to handle. If a ruler is right in his own person, he don't need to command. Good things are done without commanding.
Thank you for that brilliant justification of your stand, Mr. Confucius. Our next guest is one of the greatest military commanders in history. He has also been portrayed as power-hungry conqueror. Although he spread death and destruction, often without quarter to soldier or civilian, he brought liberty to conquered territories. Friends, here is Mr. Napoleon Bonaparte.
For me, being a leader doesn't need moral and ethical implications for as long as the goal is attained. An effective leader only do the most effective way of achieving the goal, regardless of how many people will suffer. Just focus on the goal, and that's the only thing that matters. Leadership is not about morals, it's about power.
Wow, that explanation was breathtaking. The next person to explain his side is one of the most respected spiritual and political leaders of 1900. He was born on October 2, 1869. He helped free the ancient people from British rule through non-violent resistance. He is honored by his people as the father of Indian nation. The ancient people called him Mahatma, meaning great soul. Let's welcome Mahatma Gandhi.
Opposing to Napoleon's paradigm, a leader must be morally upright because being an effective leader is not all about attaining the goals. It's all about how you influence and inspire your people. Leadership is not only about having power. It's about the sacrifices a leader does to his people. And a leader who is morally upright makes a lot of inspiration and gives a lot of love to his people. That's what makes an effective leader. I believe that the way people behave is more important than what they achieve.
That was really enlightening, Mr. Gandhi. But another person wants to challenge that point of view. He became a president of a country. His leadership is parallel to the statement of Niccolo Machiavelli in The Prince. In his 20-year rule, he followed Machiavelli's advice concerning the necessity of corruption within a prince's kingdom in which corruption was crucial to the length of one's stay in office. He is Ferdinand Marcos.
If people will see you very kind, people will not be afraid of you as a leader. Therefore, they will not be good followers. You cannot be an effective leader without without getting the people to follow you. They should be afraid of a tough leader so that they will be afraid of breaking the laws.
Formally canonized, but he was made the patron of world youth for 2008. Let's all welcome Pope John Paul II.
We need to be morally upright to be an effective leader because the success of our rule comes after the providence of God.
There you have it, the two sides of the two opposing views. Yes, you can be an effective leader without being morally upright. We witnessed different leaders who became effective without being morally upright, like those mentioned earlier. We can even say that they are better because even if they are not morally upright, they were able to make their people do what they command. It's amazing that they do not live what they preach. But this is what the moralist wants to tell us. A line from Gandhi. When I despair, I remember that all through history, the way of truth and love has always won. There have been tyrants and murderers, and for a time, they sin invisible. But in the end, they always fall. Think of it always. A leader who is not morally upright is effective only at the start. They may rule and be effective for a long time, but they end up losing everything. Losing their dignity, self-respect, and honorable life. They end up falling.